It's kind of children's event. Maybe the speech maybe we won't see it, but most of them won't see it either. Depending on all of them, we need a better AV system here and get them to contribute to the campaign. It's coming up soon.
Good morning, everybody. Please rise in body or spirit for our gathering hymn, Woyaya, number 1020 in your teal hymnals.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Kay, and I'm a member of this congregation. Colette Bowler will light our chalice. Please join me in your chalice lighting words, which are printed in your order of service. We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create loving community.
So this PowerPoint, which you may or may not be able to see, was a gift for me on the occasion of my 30th birthday. For those playing along, that was during the pandemic pre-vaccine. And I had a Zoom birthday party talent show, and all my friends did talents on the internet for me. And this was a gift from my very best friend from high school, who is the person who told me that I should go to seminary and be a minister. And I return to it often during high stress times for advice. I do have to warn you that this advice is very bad. Nonetheless, mindfulness is for suckers. Things you're already worried about. Hello. This is a template created by Kyle Eichner, which you can copy and customize with your own personal demons. Here are some things that you should be worrying about. Climate change, education, fascism, the spelling of fascism, racism, politics, and government. All that stuff. Sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, the rise of fascism, entrenched power structure, your health, family's health, pandemic, global pandemic. Okay. Well, I can't really keep up, but you get the picture. Lots to be worried about. In addition, this is a handy map where you can locate all the places in the world that you should be the most concerned about. People who say they live in the present are lying. Worrying about the future is how you can create certainty, both for yourself and the ones you love. Here's a handy tool to make your own worry list. You can worry about these things tomorrow, next week, next month, 6 months, a year from now, 10 years from now. What might or might not happen, and who might be revealed to not love you. This is actually a game you can win. Here's a point system. If your worry comes true and how soon, this determines the number of points you get. If you're right, you get plus 100. If you're wrong, you get minus 100,000. As with all habits, you should make this a daily habit. If you're someone who likes to use a calendar, here's a great way to ensure that you're getting in enough time worrying during your week. You can record both the time you've spent worrying and the number of things you've worried about in this handy planner that you can use every week, which you can customize. If you're someone who prefers to keep your worries digitally rather than on paper, you may want to consider adding a sound, a terrible sound like a jackhammer, to your phone. And you really want that because it'll get your attention and really speed up your heart rate. And you can set alerts to go off whenever you want. The middle of the night, during church, for example, when you're trying to put your kids to bed. Lots of ways to ensure that you're worrying appropriately. This is a pretend app she invented called If This, Then That, which you may want to consider. If you're too calm and you spend too much time on the internet looking at like videos of puppies or kittens or something, it will show you the latest polls about the election and the reports on climate change. Self-care. The internet is full of great ideas about how to build resilience during a pandemic, and many of these apply during a stressful time like an election season, for example. Here's what we recommend. Trying harder. More negative self-talk. Can you be bad at this? Yes, of course. All right. think really hard. 89,526,124 is the number of things you should be worrying about at least. Here are our other workshops. Ruminating on the past. How to accomplish everything and avoid feelings. Answers to everything available to those who try harder. Thanks. Any questions? Keep wondering. You're probably not thinking about it hard enough. This is a credit to the people who made the beautiful art for the slideshow. And she also would like to thank her Puritan ancestors and her WASPy family in general. And more. What a gift. Okay, so let's talk about that. Do you think that's good advice? Yes. No, when you're really worried, does it help you to think about extra things to worry about? No? Yeah. What does help you when you're really worried? Does anyone have maybe like some good advice we could? Yeah, what helps you? What did she say? She likes to watch TV. Yeah, watching TV can be nice. Drinking. Sing. Drinking. Jesus. All right. What, Mabel? Trying not to scream at the top of your lungs. You know, sometimes screaming at the top of your lungs does kind of help. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of recommended to do your cathartic screaming outside, but yeah, sometimes screaming at the top of your lungs, a really great way. I heard someone say singing. Singing can really help us. Game night, playing games, having a good time with each other. What? Walking in the park, yeah, being outside, moving your body. Sports, exercise, that can help, yeah. Petting your dog or cat, yeah. Coloring. Naps, going to bed. Yes, Milo and Joanna both think we should go to bed. Yeah. You are all filled with much better ideas about how to handle stressful situations. What? You think what it said on the TV is a good idea? Yeah, well, you know. Okay. Most importantly, when things are scary, it's really easy to be isolated. And so congratulations to all of you. You've already done step one, which is to come together. The end. Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greensboro, Church of Greensboro, where we come together even when things are difficult to give each other support and enjoy each other's company. I'm the Reverend Sadie Lansdale, and I'm the minister of this congregation. Unitarian Universalists believe that each person has a trustworthy relationship with the Spirit, with the Holy, with the source of all life, with what some call God, though we name it and know it differently from one another. And we believe that because we're interconnected, no one's free until we all are free. So we strive to create beloved community here on earth, in our fellowship with one another, and in our work for justice. Most of all, we believe that the spiritual dimension of life calls us to the social dimension of it. And so it matters much less what you personally believe, and much more how we live together. Whether today is your first or your 1,000th Sunday with us, we are stronger because you are here. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, and all loved. Our ministry team here at UUCG is Cindy Dillard, our Director of Children's and Youth Ministry, Julie Hamilton, our Congregational Administrator, Colin McCrae, our Director of Music, and me. And we're so thrilled to have our own Larry Porter on the piano this morning. Would you please take this time to silence your phones? A
A covenant contains the promises we make to one another in response to the great gift of living. Holding ourselves to these holy aspirations, will you join me in your church covenant? Our church covenant. I got distracted because Sadie's friend Kyle apparently is living in my brain. We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, do covenant to promote a search for personal meaning, respecting the individual truth in a community process of quest, speak and act with caring, courtesy, and love, thereby maintaining emotional, physical, and spiritual safety for all. Support UUCG and denominational efforts with our resources. Combat injustice while promoting equality. Nurture our children on their spiritual journey. Hold ourselves to this covenant, especially during times of conflict and disagreement. And now please join me in our opening hymn. It is in your gray hymnal, number 115, God of Grace and God of Glory.
On thy people, for thy crown thy ancient churches soaring, bring his son to glorious God. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, for the facing of his Son, for the facing of his Son. Though the clouds of evil around us hide thy brightness from our gaze, from the fears that long have bound us, free our hearts to praise and praise. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, for the living of these days, for the living of these days. Cure thy children's glory madness, lend our heart to thy control. Shame our wanton selfish gladness, rich in things that poor in soul. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, make thy peace our daily goal. Make thy peace our daily goal. Fill us with the living vision, heal our wounds that we may be bound as one beyond division, in the struggle to be free. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, ears to hear and eyes to see. Ears to hear and eyes to see.
If you are joining us in the sanctuary, won't you wave hello to our friends who are joining us online? Good morning, friends. If you are online, go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat. If you are in person, let's greet our neighbors.
When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong.
How beautiful it is to be together. We gather in gratitude this morning, turning our hearts to thanks and praise for the gift of living, in the presence of the Spirit that animates all life, and in the knowledge that we are connected to all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. During these minutes of silence and stillness, all right, so during these minutes of silence, I'm going to lead. Truly. I am going to lead a more intentional body-based relaxation practice. So feel free to join in or kind of space out if that doesn't sound like something you need. Will you find the most comfortable place in your seat and take a few easy breaths as we settle into our stillness together? I'm starting with my head because my thoughts are like pretty active this week and this morning. So just starting at the top of my body, at the crown of my head, here. Bringing my attention down my head now to my jaw. Further down into my neck, and my throat. My shoulders. Down my chest, into my belly. Not really paying attention to my breathing, just, thank you, lungs. It's kind of cool that we breathe even when we don't think about it. Bringing my attention to my chair and all the places where my chair supports me. If you're at home and you're sitting or lying down, just wherever you're supported by whatever you're sitting on. Really just observing all of those points of contact with my chair supporting me. Below that, bringing my attention down my legs and into my feet. And I feel the chancel beneath my feet. Extending my attention and my imagination below my feet into the foundation of our church building, and down even below that into the ground, in the soil, worms and roots and pipes and whatever else is down there. Maybe some spiders. Trying to pay some close attention to what supports me, what anchors me. Bringing my attention now back up through the dirt and the foundation and the floor, back into my feet. Let my feet feel a little bit heavier now. They feel a little bit more connected. And up my legs to my chair, my seat. That I feel a little bit more anchored in my chair now. If you've joined me in this grounding practice, we're going to keep it there. We're going to keep our attention on all the support available to us. We bring the echoes in our hearts before our community and before the holy in this sacred space and time. If you're online, this is your time to share your joys and sorrows with one another in the chat. If you're in person and you have a milestone you'd like added to our prayers, you can fill out a yellow card, which the ushers will collect from you. If there's a joy on your heart, place a plant in the vase. If there's a sorrow, place a stone in the bowl. You can light a candle of prayer and presence for someone you're holding close to you. And if you're not sure how you're feeling, or maybe you're a little fidgety, there are pipe cleaners in the back, mandalas to color, or you may have brought your own needlework, which you should feel free to do. In church, we practice becoming more fully human with one another. This is our time to take stock of how we are and to take what we need, knowing the table is set for us all. Will you join me in prayer and presence? First, we name aloud or in the chat those people on our hearts, living or dead, near or far, that this community might hold them in love. Mark Zimmerman is struggling with daylight savings. And Mark, our prayers of compassion are with you. This is a hard time of year. Tish Gunn mourns the loss of backyard trees. The church next door is expanding a parking lot. And Tish, our prayers are with you. Betsy Lindsay is remembering Roger Galloway on the 8th anniversary of his death. I can't believe it's been so long. Betsy, our prayers of compassion are with you in his memory. Mark Freund, our music director emeritus, has had some big family losses this month. His mother died, and then a few weeks later, his father died as well. All of our prayers are with Mark and his family. Phoenix Putney is wishing a heartfelt shout out to our super volunteer and leader, Linda Sullivan. Best wishes for a speedy recovery from shoulder replacement surgery. Prayers of healing are with Linda. Carol Webb is thankful for this community and so many new friendships. And our prayers of joy and gratitude are with you, Carol, and the connections in your life. Kara is excited that she's going to the Y on Monday and Tuesday. It's because you don't have school. There's no school Monday and Tuesday, and she's excited. Our prayers of joy are with you, and the connections and friends that you'll make on Monday and Tuesday. Georgette Hamlet is not here today because she's now Georgette Sachs. And I officiated her wedding yesterday to Stephanie Sachs. All of our prayers of joy and gratitude are with Stephanie and Georgette on their honeymoon and on this joyful occasion. Ingrid Chen McCarthy says, I'm proud of the work we've done with Guilford for All to win power this election cycle, no matter what happens. Our prayers of gratitude are with you, Ingrid. Kate Katahdin says, I've been working early voting these last 2.5 weeks, almost 150 hours. New citizens, future voters, and first-time voters of all ages. It's been incredible. Our prayers of joy and possibly even hope are with you, Kate. Your encouragement. Spirit of life and love, God of many names and beyond all naming, source of all. Our prayer this morning is simple. We pray for strengthening and courage when those are the things we need, and we pray for tenderness everywhere else. We ask these things for ourselves, for those we love, and for those we do not yet love. Amen.
When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong.
Children are invited to the Religious Exploration Wing for snack and community building through play, followed by RE at 11. Go in peace, go in love, go in joy. From the Gospel according to Matthew. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet God feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in his splendor was dressed like one of these. Do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. The title of this sermon is Therefore Do Not Worry and Other Useless Advice. Here's the first rule about worrying. No one ever tells you not to worry when there's nothing to worry about. Jesus, in that passage from the Gospel according to Matthew, is talking to a group of people who absolutely have things to worry about. Remember that his life and ministry and death all took place under Roman rule of first century Palestine in an occupation. And under such a brutal imperial power, the ones who were not Romans had to tread very carefully. Not free, always watched by Caesar. Then, as now, the state had the power to violently put people to death in order to maintain peace. Much to worry about, indeed. The context of this passage is a Jewish teacher talking to a Jewish audience about a different and emerging interpretation of Jewish law, why food, drink, and clothing were particular subjects of concern for the people that he led and loved. Cultural markers and habits can become even more important and even more precious to us under repression and occupation. This is the context in which he lives and teaches and dies. The Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron says this: when we find ourselves in a mess, we don't have to feel guilty about it. Instead, we could reflect on the fact that how we relate to this mess will be sowing the seeds of how we will relate to whatever comes next. We can make ourselves miserable, or we can make ourselves strong. The amount of effort is the same. Right now, we are creating our state of mind for tomorrow, not to mention this afternoon, next week, next year, and all the years of our lives. I will confess to you that I feel immediate resistance whenever I hear something like this, as if it were so easy just to create our states of mind for tomorrow. Then we'd just do that, and we wouldn't be anxious, and we wouldn't be sleepless, and we'd all be very well adjusted, and everything would be okay. But there are very real reasons why we worry, and they're not accidents. In some cases, they have causes and profit motives and people behind them driving the bus. No accident that in a country with exorbitant wealth there is such poverty. No accident that the ones who throw paint and disrupt the traffic are jailed, and the ones who profit from the devastation of the earth go free. No accident that the corporate capture of our political parties and the underbelly of racist grievance and fear of sexual difference have led us to this moment, and no accident that our attention is so captured by the horse race of it all that we can get exhausted during election season without even lifting a finger to influence the outcome. No accident that we're most encouraged to take care of ourselves by numbing or escaping rather than strengthening and connecting. Anxiety in this economy is a perfectly normal response to conditions that are unlivable. And also, we don't want to be subject to it. We want to understand it and work with it and move according to our values anyway. We can't, after all, add even a single hour to our span of life by worrying, no matter how justified. How we relate to this mess is sowing the seeds of how we relate to whatever comes next. So Jesus says, do not worry about tomorrow. Today's trouble is enough for today. If we could actually pull that off, that sounds kind of helpful. Today's trouble is enough for today. One foot in front of the other, one move, and then the next move. Just the next right thing. The Reverend Elizabeth Wen, a community minister working in immigration and bail reform, has spoken about living our lives in the shape of what is asked of us. Choosing to live our lives in the shape of what is asked. So, what is asked? Elections reveal to us the terrain of struggle on which we organize, in which we live. But the work of justice making is always largely the same. Draw near to the ones who hurt the most. Find our collective stake in the world where no one is made miserable and where everyone is free. Build communities that are based in that vision out of neighbors and disconnected strangers, and wrestle as much joy as we possibly can from the whole process. The more devoted we are to building the beautiful future, heaven on earth, the more connected we become, the more joyful we become in the work of it. What is not asked of us? Guilt is not asked of us. Terror is not asked. Pretending everything all right is not asked. Strengthening, connection, and tenderness are the things that are asked of you, of all of us, always and everywhere, regardless of the outcome of this or any election. So here are, after all, your instructions. Consider the birds of the air, not to model your life after theirs, but to soothe your own worked up system. Consider the lilies of the field, after all, not in comparison or the delusion of escape, but to fall in love again and again with the beautiful things, even in a world on fire. Fall in love and gather up the strength and tell about it. If you are anxious, don't do it alone. Make a plan for the election and the days after, whatever you anticipate, joy, relief, fear, some mixture, the same stresses of your life. Invite a friend over, invite someone you hardly know. Eat together, light candles. Living our lives in the shape of what is asked of us, responding to the need for strength, tenderness, and connection requires building and enjoying our networks of mutual care and support so that we can show up, so that we're not going alone. It requires taking back our attention from sensationalist and disaster-based news so that we're not pre-exhausted, so that we can show up. It requires practicing taking responsibility for strengthening the communities in which we live, each and every one of us. So by God, if you're gonna worry, get some bread and some soup and invite somebody over, and don't do it alone. Bring flowers, consider the lilies, listen to the birds. Do not allow the terror of the night to eclipse the beauty of the day. The good news is, we have been practicing these things all along. It's true that there's much to fear, but it's also true that there is much to love, and that whatever shape they take, our lives are enriched by that practice of tenderness and connection and finding strength where we didn't know we had it. May you feel that abiding truth this week ever more powerfully. May it be so for you, and so for us all. Let those who are moved say amen. We rise in body or in spirit for hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land. Note this time instead of sisters and brothers, we're gonna sing neighbors and strangers. Will you say that with me? Neighbors and strangers. Yeah, neighbors and strangers. Beautiful.
We'll build a land where we bind up the broken.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Our minister's discretionary fund is available to anyone in a tough spot. You or your friends or neighbors, please do reach out. We can help with medical bills, rent, groceries, or other needs. You can contact the church through our website to request assistance. One of the ways that we live out our mission is to contribute financially to the ministries of this congregation and to the good work of our community partners. The IRC, the Interactive Resource Center, invites people experiencing homelessness to be part of supportive community free of barriers. They provide services to help our Guilford County neighbors reconnect with their own lives and with the community at large. They promote dignity, respect, connection, and empowerment in an environment where trust and relationships matter. The IRC engages those they serve in building their own progress toward a life without homelessness. If you'd like to make a contribution for our offering to be split with the IRC, you can do so at the link in the description of this service. You can text GIVE to the number in your order of service. You can also mail a check. Ushers will come forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Today we will all sing our closing music together, so please join us in number 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. Will you join me in our chalice extinguishing words?
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
If you'd like to get more connected, whether you're in person or online, fill out the contact form on our church website. And if you're in person, stick around for our post-worship reflection. We'll talk some about election care plans and how the service speaks to your life more broadly in the sanctuary. If you're new or feeling new, you're invited to our Exploring Membership class in the library, led by Carrie Helton and Lonnie Hauk today. After service, Caroline Cook is running a plant sale. Caroline's over here. Proceeds go to Buildings and Grounds to support the maintenance of our beautiful grounds. Caroline is one of the people responsible for the beautiful plants and flowers that bloom almost all year long around here. Next Sunday at 2 p.m., Colin's leading a jam session. Michael Kay is leading a jam session. Michael Kay leading a jam session here. So sign up, bring your instruments, enjoy music together. What?
Just
Show up. Don't sign up. Show up. Please do sign up for our No Matter What celebration here on Sunday, November 10th, 6 to 7:30. This is a vegetarian potluck. For anyone who has been working on election stuff, no matter the outcome, we will be hosting an interfaith debrief for all those who've been trying to put our faith into action. So contact Nora Bird with any questions about that. If it feels like you're holding your breath, remember to breathe out. Connect with the ground beneath your feet and the soil and the roots below that ground, wherever you can. Seeking connection and courage, strengthening and tenderness everywhere you go. Go in peace. Rise in body or in spirit for a benediction hymn from this house.
From this house
To the world we will go hand in hand. From this house to the world we will go hand in hand. From this house to the world we will go hand in hand.
From this house to the world, we will go hand in hand. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, get shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I say that's life. As funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on your dream, but I don't let it get me down. Till this final world keeps spinning round. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face. I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's a life, and I can't deny it. Many times I thought of sitting out, but my heart just won't buy it. And if there's nothing shaking come this here July, I'm gonna roll myself in a big ball and die.